Everyone in the Liftoff Higher Health and Impact communities. I'm joined here with Josh Broun. Am I pronouncing your last name correct? Broun?
Yeah, that's good. You got it.
Okay. From Impact Kitchen, a really amazing story for how Impact Kitchen came to be. And we are going to have a meeting of the minds today on nutrition and specifically touching on paleo, keto, and plant-based eating and our pro tips or our passion points for each of those diets. So by way of introduction, I'm Dr. Tara Campbell, a naturopathic doctor in North Toronto. I founded Higher Health Naturopathic Center and IV Lounge. I'm a big fan of micronutrients and cellular repair. I feel energy, hormone balance, neurotransmitter balance, all aspects of our health can really thrive when we are meeting our micronutrient needs. So I have also been a foodie for most of my life and a personal trainer in my past, which led me to wanting to understand more about mind-body wellness and overall health. And it was a great connection between, I wanted to be a medical doctor at some point, but always had an interest in health and food and nutrition and active living. And so becoming a naturopathic doctor was just really a blend of all my natural passions or innate passions. And in being a foodie, I have frequented Impact Kitchen many times. I had clients tell me about it to say, oh, have you tried Impact Kitchen? And it turns out I live just around the corner from I guess it was the first location at King East. Was that the first location? Josh will tell us. I think Zoom has frozen for a second there. But I became an avid Impact Kitchen goer and, big fan of many of their bowls, from the Harvest Bowl to the Paleo waffles to the soups. And just, I would go there and finish patient charting and work on articles and whatnot when I was there. So love the big table. Josh, you cut out for when I asked the original store. Was that the King East store?
Yeah, the first one was in Corktown, King East.
Corktown, yeah, and not store, cafe or wellness cafe, I guess. Such a vibe. So tell us a little bit about you and your introduction.
Well, thanks, Dr. Tara. It's exciting to be on here with you. I know we share a similar passion for health, wellness, and overall well-being. Yeah, my background, prior to Impact, was in the health and wellness industry. I worked as a personal trainer and nutrition coach for clients, primarily in-home sessions, and I was fortunate to travel with some clients as well, which was an awesome journey, and really started to kind of groove my passion for nutrition more and more. From working with my clients and understanding their desired results on the fitness, nutrition, body composition scale. You start to really see the value of nutrition coaching. Really, I felt was the key to get the results that I wanted to get, and to have an awesome group of clients that really inspired me. We've heard the saying, you're the common denominator of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and as a trainer, you spend a lot of time with your clientele. And my now partner Frank Toskin was one of those clients who had an awesome entrepreneurial background. Being the co-founder of MAC Cosmetics, and really Impact was formed in those training sessions of creating the place that we wanted to eat at ourselves and shop at. And we kind of just jumped in it, and neither of us ever working in a restaurant a day in our lives. That first year at King East that you remember so well was greeting customers at the door one at a time and building up the base of our community, slowly but surely. And then now 4 years later, we're fortunate to have location recently.
Has it only been 4 years?
It's been a year of rapidly into years 2, 3, and now 4 and 5.
Wow, I feel like it's been there for longer. I guess I started coming right in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I also, it's really interesting that it was founded on a synergy of of body wellness, so the personal training and how you met your client, and then also beauty. And really, beauty comes from the inside out. And so nourishing your body, and I always like to say it's not just food, how we nourish our body, that there's food and non-food. And Impact Kitchen just has such a vibe for both. It's a wellness community. You and I are totally in the Kool-Aid, or what would the collagen? Collagen for wellness, and so this will be great. Let's talk about paleo, keto, plant-based, and what's your preference? What do you eat, or how do you eat?
Well, it's a great subject, because actually, just to revert back a little bit to the mindset of impact, and going back pre-impact when I was a nutrition coach, I was really almost obsessed with what is the perfect human diet. I was looking for that answer for myself personally, and also for my clients to coach them on. Yeah. And what I kind of came to the conclusion was there really is no perfect human diet for all. And for me, a simple food philosophy of minimally processed, nutrient dense, real food. The most popular kind of nutrition camps that we'll dig into today a little bit are the paleo camp, the keto camp, and the plant-based, and the vegan camp. And people in our world know there's a lot of banter and talk around pro paleo or pro plant-based, and those two populations don't get along so well. So my mindset was a person who's vegan, keto, setting that tone of the minimally processed, nutrient dense, real.
I think we're cutting out. Sorry, I think
simple.
We just were cutting out a second there. Sometimes I find if I put my phone on airplane, it helps. I don't know if it was a message coming through. I hope it doesn't deter people from listening here, but we're here, and pause or not, we're good. So yeah, sorry, the camp, paleo, keto, plant-based camps. Are you there?
We are cutting in the joys of Zoom and the. Aww.
But I was so clear on my intro. I don't want to have to do it again. Well, let's just keep going. It's good.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if hopefully people got the kind of general mindset of a simple food philosophy that can be applied to all three diet camps, or really any diet camp. For me personally, I lean to a paleo way of eating, which is for me high quality protein, really unlimited plants, moderate fruit, moderate fat, and really like a focus on sugar-free beverages. That's kind of how I make up most of my meals, and I find a lot of flexibility in eating that way. Yeah. And energy, my well-being, my body composition, that's what works the best.
Yeah, I would say I'm the same, very much the same, that it's a paleo, plant-based, super micronutrient dense diet, but with room to enjoy. We don't have we barely buy bread in our house. My partner used to have toast every morning for breakfast years ago, but now it's just the paleo way of eating is so easy, and it's really about, your carbohydrate might be vegetable and sweet potato, which is way more nutrient dense than bread.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Terry, you cut out on me there as well. I just didn't hear your last part there.
I just said we barely buy bread in our house, where prior that would be a staple breakfast item for toast or whatnot. But now it's just we just find it so easy to eat grain free, and it's not. I think it can be overwhelming for people but it really it's you're either boiling water to make pasta, or you're boiling water to bake or to cook sweet potato or whatever it is. I wouldn't say I eat a lot of sweet potato either, but in terms of carbohydrate, we get that from our vegetables.
Yeah, and I think I heard you say, you allow some flexibility. I think for myself as well, we all have heard the 80-20 rule. I'm very lucky where I don't have a lot of intolerances to foods like grains, legumes, or dairy. So like I've gone more extreme on the paleo side of things and removed those just to test it. But now, if I want dairy, if I want chickpeas, or even pizza that isn't gluten free, I'm lucky where I don't have intolerances. So I eat those things, and I don't really restrict that. I think what is intimidating and can be hard for people is, those are habits that I've built, and now it's normal for me to, yes, don't go towards breakfast cereals or heavy grain items for breakfast. I don't eat regular pasta on a regular basis, which I know is a staple for a lot of people for dinners. And just now I have a strong understanding of just and over time it's what makes you feel the best. Like I think neither of us, if we put somebody on a paleo recommended diet, if they said they feel terrible, we're going to try something else.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it's really important for the individual to give it to try it. You have to make that first step in that effort, which I know you coach people on. I've coached people on in the past. And then it's a trial and error, reintroduce certain foods. And then all
your body throughout.
Yeah, we have to get to a point where it's going to be a lifestyle, and it's not going to be work. It's like that. Once that habit's formed, it just becomes, the normal way you eat.
And that's very much the atmosphere at Impact Kitchen. It's a lifestyle. It's delicious meals and bowls and nutrient dense smoothies to other dishes that you have, but it's really that whole picture of wellness. Like I remember the location at King East, just you had 2 gyms right in the area, Lift and DTS.
Yeah.
And it's just a vibe. People would then come in and people pay for good food because they feel better with it, and it's also because there's such a vibe there. And so I love that you're making an impact on people's lives with that caliber quality of food. And also for paleo, so we talked about carbs, but it's really what you said, the high quality proteins.
I think that's like, paleo's been mainstream now for 5, 6, 7 years, and I remember when paleo first started to get popular, I'd have friends say I can eat unlimited bacon, I can eat unlimited steaks, and it was a very meat centric diet. Like we hear the caveman diet and things like that. I do think there is that smart paleo, and I loved how you phrased it, where you said you're a plant-based paleo eater. Because I think still making plants the center of your plate is crucial. I think where you can invest money in is getting the higher quality proteins and making that a staple. Those are 2 areas that are just so important, I think, for how you feel and your well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. And the modest fat. So modest fat, people think keto, especially high fat, and it is in ways, but it's the healthy fats. It's the micronutrient rich fat with the symbol of avocado,
Well, going keto, I've actually had the most challenge with that diet, just because I think there's a lot of misinformation about keto. And now keto, it's been a couple years of trends, but I still feel, just from seeing how customers come into Impact Kitchen, like every person views keto as a different diet plan. And I think that it's vague. Moderate protein, high fat, very low carb. Are you in ketosis? Are you out of ketosis? Are you going to be the type of person who wants to measure your ketones in the ways that are available to us? It's true. And for us, at Impact, we don't list keto as a dietary qualifier, where we do for paleo and gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, whatnot, just because I think it's hard to make a claim that something is keto, because I find keto is very to the individual.
Yeah. Do you call it keto friendly? Is that what we talked about before?
So we do have keto friendly items that we don't label it, but we train our team. If someone comes in to say, oh, I'm on the keto diet, then we can make keto friendly recommendations. But it's not something we like market on our like our menu boards, whereas the paleo has like a P, things like that.
Yeah, except for the keto bun.
Yeah, the keto bun. Well, that's the brand name on it.
Oh,
And
okay, perfect.
yeah, so that is good. But that menu item we don't classify as keto because there's components of it that wouldn't necessarily fall under that way of eating.
But we did like the keto burger.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed with building nutrition plans for clients and building keto menus, it's really hard. It's very precise to get to the ketogenic calculations. And so I would really, when I dove into building these plans and seeing, oh my gosh, if I add blueberries to the day, that throws a person's numbers over, or if I add cabbage. And so I think that people can strive for keto if they want to, but they'll probably land on paleo. And so I just think the majority for a comfortable nutrition plan is paleo.
Yeah, I think that's the most approachable for sure. And with keto or paleo, like I think the benefit if someone commits to eating that way, the main thing both those diets cut out is processed food.
Yeah.
Because you can't really eat processed food and be keto.
Yeah.
And there aren't a ton of processed foods that would even work in the paleo diet. So it's really a real food diet, which is what I like about both of them.
That's a great way to say, like a real food diet, minimally processed, nutrient dense, real food, as you said.
Yeah, like that's like I think you could apply that. We can get into plant-based because I know people that eat vegan, for example, that there's a lot of heavily processed foods that would fall into the vegan category. We could say chips are vegan, and processed white bread is vegan. And I don't think anybody should be eating those things on a regular basis. So I think for vegan or plant-based, there is a smart way to go about it. And if you stick to that real food, that approach, you can be very healthy on a vegan diet and get the right, protein's a big one, and other nutrients through a great array of plant-based foods.
Which brings us back to that whole foundation of micronutrients. Just get the micronutrients in. And then to both of our backgrounds in training, my pillars here at Higher Health now are mindset, movement, and micronutrients. So I just love touching on each of those three. And so movement, there's different forms of exercise for each person. Some like yoga, some like have HIIT training, and really having a balance of all. And then mindset is just the biggest piece, what we think, how we eat, how we move, like it's just all connected into our overall well-being. So
yeah, I love those pillars, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the blue zone pillars. Blue zones being the hot spots around the world where people live to be 100 the most frequently. And for them, movement, it doesn't have to be in the gym. It could be whatever is important to you. So it could be walking, yoga, just daily movement. And for them on the mindset piece, the sense of community and the sense of purpose.
Community and sense of purpose. We're pausing, carrying it out.
The moment of having that community and that.
Yeah, absolutely. Community is essential for our well-being, and really, I read the Blue Zones a long time ago and didn't really know they had the three pillars, or how much it related to the mindset, movement, micronutrients. But with the biggest piece is the community, which we touched on for both of our businesses, but also why we're joined here talking about the Liftoff community, which is a vertical community in condominiums, condo buildings, of building that culture within vertical living. So, which is brought to us through COVID of going more virtual and being able to access all of these wellness opportunities or wellness components.
Yeah, I love the way Andrea phrased it with, Tridel has built these buildings and and created, communities of people living in them. But this initiative of Liftoff is to, create communities within those buildings and get people engaging and with a wellness focus is awesome. And I think I'm excited to see where Liftoff can go and that challenge of getting people living in condos, and building those relationships.
Yeah, and building community in a virtual space and still having the connection and that feeling through a screen. But obviously it's better in person, but there is a value. You can feel connected on any medium with the right ingredients. And there's one other thing I wanted to touch on, our view of calorie counting. So I love a conversation we had before about when someone asked, well, so how many calories should you consume in a day? And I just love your answer. I feel the same. So can you share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would to be honest with you, when I first started my nutrition career, I bought into the calorie approach, and I coach clients on that way. But over the years, I started to see the flaws in that approach, and I really started to veer towards the real food diet and the nutrient density of food kind of trumping all. Like I hate with a comparison of if there's 100 calories in a can of Coke and 100 calories in 2 cups of broccoli, saying those are the same thing. So that analogy allowed me to quickly kind of take the mindset that calories aren't the most important part of the equation. And with impact specifically, I didn't want to have calories become like a murky thing where be obsessed with counting their calories, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be more an enjoyable a dining experience where they could just be super confident in the quality of the food and not so stressed out about the macronutrients and calories in every item.
Yeah, no, that's great. And when someone asks me, so how many almonds can I have? I'm just, you can have a cup, in some cases. It's about the totality of how you're eating. So it's not about 12 almonds,
Well, and I think the beauty of a smart paleo, keto, or plant-based diet is if you're eating those real foods, it is hard to truly overeat those ingredients. You can overeat a little bit, but not even in the same ballpark as junk food. Like we've all been there, and I would be lying if I said I never ate an entire bag of chips or too much ice cream. But you can really easily overeat on those items, where it's a lot harder on chicken, sweet potatoes, and broccoli.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you and I both, we've pivoted through COVID, and we're still championing ultimate wellness. And I love what you're doing with the food boxes. And so we'll be sharing more about that. But people aren't eating out anymore, but they still want to access impact bowls and tasty treats and paleo waffles. And so it's amazing that you're bringing the whole food, micronutrient dense, minimally processed foods into a box that gets delivered. And so and then there's a blend of kits that people can make your recipes versus also using the good quality proteins in various home cooking recipes and teaching people how to do it. So
that's it's super exciting for us to be able to work with you and offer these boxes to the Liftoff community. I'm excited to really showcase these to that community, and hopefully there's a platform where you and I can work with people to find the right box that works for them. But it's been a great new vertical of our business that the pandemic has kind of pushed us into, and I know my team has really rallied and is excited to offer these.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And so everyone must try a zesty Mexican. And my personal favorite bowl is the harvest bowl with extra broccoli, no quinoa. So I made a paleo.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Or sometimes I did extra arugula, no quinoa. So
yeah, I've done that one before.
Yeah, and add steak or salmon or chicken. Not to, I know some people listening will be plant-based here, but anyway, whole food, real food, the real food diet. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Thanks so much, Josh. It's great speaking with you, and I'll hook you up anytime, whenever you want to come up for a micronutrient drip.
Thanks so much, Tara, and I look forward to working with you in the future through Liftoff and many exciting ventures.
Yeah, amazing. All right, have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.